Welcome to Hawthorne Hill Farm. My name is Marilyn Cameron. I'm a farmer and a retired veterinarian. And my husband Paul is still working as a pharmacist, but helps on the farm as much as he can. Together, we operate a small market garden farm and attend a weekly market in the Annapolis Valley of Nova Scotia. We raise a flock of Shetland sheep for wool and care for lots of free-range hens. We have meat birds in the summer too. Clarabelle is our family milk cow, and Tuli, her calf, are our newest additions to the farm. We hope you will join us to see what we do on our farm, from our morning chores in the barn to tending one of our many gardens. We'll be harvesting, preserving, preparing all the ingredients grown right here on the farm. Over the years, we have learned so much about being more self-reliant. Although we've made lots of mistakes, we've got lots of help too, watching other YouTube homesteaders. So if we can help you to be more self-sustaining, then our goals will be achieved. Thanks for watching.
Good morning, it's Marilyn, Hawthorne Hill Farm. We are now in early March, and the house is dirty and I don't feel like cleaning today. I feel like making something. So I'm going to make some pasta noodles. I want to have a flea skirting party at the end of the month, and I want to use as much ingredients for the meal afterwards from the farm, including some mozzarella and my spaghetti sauce that I made last fall. And but today is the pasta making day, and I might also make some lemon curd that goes really nice with egg white nets and ice cream and whipped cream and whatever. That's really good. So today I'm going to make a recipe, not an egg noodle recipe with white flour. I'm going to make it with white flour, but Semolina Durham flour. And I have a few duck eggs and a few chicken eggs. I don't have quite enough duck eggs, but I'm gonna have half of what I need. So I'm gonna make a 4-batch thing, and then I'll have lots and lots of noodles. So the recipe calls for 100 grams of semolina flour, and I'm going to do 400. I'm not sure I can fit 400 in this container, but oh, I think I can. There, 400. So that's a semolina flour. Then each batch asks for 115 grams of unbleached flour. So that would be 460 grams. Nope, that's a little too much. We'll take some out. 460, there we are, perfect. So that's 460 grams. Just going to whisk those two together. And I guess I should add the salt. So it's a half a teaspoon per recipe, and I'm doing 4. So that's 2 full teaspoons. And this is a half a teaspoon that fits in this jar. So I'll do, that's a half. That's 1 recipe. That's 2 recipes. That's 3 recipes. That's 4. And I'm using pink Himalayan salt. There. So I'll whisk that together. Since this is dirty, each recipe requires 2 whole eggs or 1 duck egg. Oh, they're hard to break open there. Big shell on them. They've got big yolks. So there's the 4 duck eggs. Now I'm going to put in just 4 egg yolks. So that's well mixed. And then we're going to make a little well in the bottom. And I'll whisk these eggs together. I'll whisk these eggs together a little bit before they go in. It is said duck eggs make for the best pasta. So we're going to find out, even if I just use half of them. There, okay. I'm not sure that the duck egg actually makes exactly 2 eggs. If in any way I find this dough batter to be too dry, I'll probably just add another egg. I'll give it a little chance first to come together because it does tend to be dry at first. Yeah, I think I'm going to add one more egg and we'll see if that helps a little bit. It'll have to be a chicken egg. Oh! If you're not using duck eggs, each batch is 2 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk. So it requires 3 eggs per batch of 100 grams of semolina flour and 115 grams of a white or unbleached white flour. I still think that's too dry. So I think I'm going to add just one more. My eggs are also not really big. They're just kind of medium size. You know, they're not huge, so. So once you get it to where you want your dough to be, you can start to knead it. And you knead it for 5 full minutes. It's starting to come together. Yeah, and that's what it's like at first. It's quite dense, but as you're working it, I'll take it out of this bowl and put it on the counter soon. I just want to get it all incorporated. As soon as that happens, we'll start seriously kneading it on the counter until it's smooth and elastic. I mean, this is 4 batches, so it's heavy lifting to knead this. Okay, let's get it out of this bowl. Ta-da! Okay. I feel like I'll set the timer for 5 minutes and keep working. I'll add just a dusting of flour if it starts to stick to my board. And I'll show you what that looks like at the end of 5 minutes. Okay, I begin. It is hard work. It is hard work. Yes, it's really hard work. It's a lot harder than bread dough. You've got 3 minutes left. So as you can see, hopefully you can see, that it is becoming much more like supple. It's becoming softer. There's my 5 minutes. And you're kneading so that you can develop the gluten in your dough. And the egg noodles, I find they have a lot of eggs in them. The regular pasta ones, they're lovely. They are really tasty, but they're really fragile and they tend to break really easy in storage when you're drying them and trying to get them into a jar or a bag. They really crumble. These ones are a little bit tougher, but they're still really tasty. Like, they just taste like the regular noodles you buy at the store, because I think they are made with at least some semolina flour to give them a little bit less fragility. And because this is a 4-batcher, I'm just gonna go a couple more minutes kneading it a little softer. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this into 4 rough segments and wrap each segment in plastic. That way it'll get exposed and it'll have to the warm temperature in this room. I'll leave those for 30 minutes. So after you let your plastic wrapped dough balls rest for 30 minutes or so, then you unwrap the plastic off them. It actually comes off pretty easy. You don't have to worry about it sticking. If it is sticking too much to the plastic, then it's too wet. So make sure you add a little bit more flour. Then you take each ball, which is each batch, and I cut that into 4 pieces. Then you pat it down and make it into something maybe just about the size of your hand, or a little bit smaller. And then you can feed that into your machine that will flatten. So using the widest opening in your thing, you sort of do each of them 1. You're going to do that again, maybe even 2 more times. I kind of just do it slow and steady. Then I'll make the setting smaller. Not too small though. Quite there yet. They'll have to get even smaller, unless you want really thick noodles, which I don't. So I've narrowed it up again, another notch. There. That's sort of what you want. Thin, kind of see-through. You can see my hands through it. And I'm going to go lay it on the table. So that's the first batch. I've got 4 more to do, so there'll be 16 pieces in total. And I'll just come back. I'll get them all laid out here, and then we'll come back and cut them. So I put a bit of flour on the first sheet, and I'm going to give it a roll and see how well it goes through. So here goes. It's a little tricky getting to feed it in, especially if the end is crunchy, but you can always trim that off if that's the case. Sometimes I just try to feed it with my fingers until I get it going. Try to keep it in the center of the thing so that it doesn't get jammed up on the sides. Now, as you can see, the noodles are coming out and they look good. Slide that back. So I divide the noodles into 2 little batches, just roughly, and then with my fingers, I kind of just curl them, kind of flat, but just curl them up into like a little curl like that. And that's what I'll leave on the table to dry, okay? But I actually do it out there. So I'll just remove this and we'll get going on the next piece. Here we are a couple days later, and I thought I'd just show you what the noodles look like when they're dry. So they're very dry, and I don't know if you can hear that, but they snap, right? They're not as crispy as the egg noodles, so you don't really hear a crunch, but you do hear a nice little, if you're listening, you can hear a nice little snap. Okay, so then I'll just put them in this, and you can really put quite a few when you roll them up like this in the bottom of a big jug, so they take a lot less space than just having them all kind of scrambled. These will keep a couple of months, I would say, quite nicely in these jars. So a lot of fun making pasta, and I hope that you try it sometime. So the next thing today is we're going to make a lemon curd. I'm going to make 2 batches of it because I have 6 lemons, and I am going to double the batch, so it's 3 and 3. And so you need the juice and zest, and you're going to put it in a pot. So I'll get that ready. So I'm looking for each batch takes a half a cup of juice and zest. So I'm going to zest first because it's easier to do it when the lemons are whole.
So in your pot or your bowl that's sitting over simmering water, I'm doubling this recipe. It's 3/4 cup of cane sugar. This is organic cane sugar. So I'm doubling it. So it's 1.5 cups of sugar, and the eggs go in. And I will whisk this, I guess. So we put the sugar, the eggs, the lemon juice, and the lemon zest in a pot over very low simmering water. And I'll constantly stir this or whisk this until the mixture becomes thickened. So this is getting thicker now. It needs to go to 170, and then you can add the butter. So it's at the point where it is thicker. Okay. For a minute. So 1/4 cup of butter for each recipe. So this is 1/2 cup. So once that cools, we'll put it in the fridge, and it should thicken. It's just gorgeous. So the things I like to use this on is you could put it, you can make a lemon loaf, and then you can put a little scoop of that on, make a little drizzle or a little dollop of it onto, any kind of dessert that you like. A little lemon can go on yogurt in the morning. So I made meringue nests, and we like to put a scoop of either vanilla yogurt or vanilla ice cream, and then some of the lemon curd on that, and it makes just this beautiful divine dessert. So enjoy. It's really easy to make. Just takes probably about 20 minutes to half an hour. Great thing to do while you're waiting for cheese to culture. And let's get back to the cheese. The timer's ready to go off. We're going to add our rennet.